This is the inescapable interrogation that you and I will experience before the King Allah Jalla Jalaluhu in His court. And as for the questions of this exam, and from these questions I will share with you 10. As for the first of these questions that you and I are to expect, there is going to be a question about our salah, our prayer. There's going to be an interrogation in agonizingly excruciating detail about every element of the salah, the standing, the quality of the bowing, the duration of the prostration, the quality of your wudu, the time of your prayer, how you covered yourself, the prayers of the past that you may have missed, the prayers you did not repent from missing. There is going to be a question about it all. And we have been warned. And that is why our beloved sallallahu alayhi wasallam said in the hadith which Abu Hurairah narrates and is documented by At-Tirmidhi in his Jami'. He alayhi salatu wasalam said, "Inna awwala ma yuhasabu bihi al-'abdu yawm al-qiyamati min 'amalihi salatuh." The very first action that man will be asked about in front of Allah, all of his deeds, is the salah, the prayer. He said, فَإِن صَلَحَتْ فَقَدْ أَفْلَحَ وَأَنْجَحَ. If the prayer is complete, this person would have prospered and would have succeeded. وَإِن فَسَدَتْ فَقَدْ خَابَ وَخَسِرَ. If, however, the prayer is deficient, then he is in ruins and this person had failed. He said, فَإِنِ انْتَقَصَ مِنْ فَرِيضَتِهِ شَيْءٍ قال الرب انظروا هل لعبدي من تطوع فيكمل من تقص به من الفريضة. And if the prayer is deficient in any way, before this person is punished, Allah will say to the angels, look, does he have any other extra prayers that we may use to patch up the obligatory one? He says, ثُمَّ تَكُونُ سَائِرُ أَعْمَالِهِ عَلَى هَذَا. He said, the rest of your deeds will be assessed in the exact same manner. So when it comes to charity, zakah will be looked at, the obligatory one. If it is lacking, Allah Almighty will tell the angels, look into the voluntary sadaqah. Fasting, siyam of Ramadan will be looked at, the obligation. If it is lacking, the other extra fasts of Mondays and Thursdays, etc. will be looked at. And the rest of our deeds will be assessed in the same way. That is question number one. As for question number two that you and I are to expect, there is going to be a question about an-na'im, the delights. All of the blessings that we are enjoying from head to toe, the macro, micro, material, immaterial, religious and unreligious blessings. There is going to be a question about them. La ilaha illallah. Allah said, ثُمَّ لَتُسْأَلُنَّ يَوْمَئِذٍ عَنِ النَّعِيمِ. Then you are going to be asked on that day about the delights. Qatada ibn Di'amat al-Sudsi, he said, As-Sadusi, he said, Inna Allah sa'ilun kulla dhi ni'matin fima an'ama alayh. Allah will ask every recipient of a blessing about that blessing. And according to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, some drinkable water and some basic dates and some simple meat will be questions that will be asked about on the day of judgment. According to him, they were delights. They knocked on the door of an Ansari companion who hosted them. He offered them water and then some basic dates. He said to them, give me a moment. And he went out and he slaughtered an animal for them, then presented them with some meat. And when they had finished eating, our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam looks at Abu Bakr and Umar and he said to them, وَالَّذِي نَفْسِي بِيَدِهِ لَتُسْأَلُنَّ عَنْ هَذَا النَّعِيمِ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. He said, I swear by Allah who possesses my life, we are going to be asked about these delights on the day of judgment. Water, dates, some meat. That is question number two. As for question 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, these 5 are found in one hadith. The hadith which At-Tirmidhi narrates in his Jami' on the authority of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. that the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, لا تزول قدم ابن آدم يوم القيامة من عند ربه حتى يسأل عن خمس. The feet of man will not move from the presence of Allah till he is first asked about 5 things. Meaning we are not going anywhere till we manage to find answers to 5 questions that are inescapable. What are they? Here they come. عن حياته فيما أفناه. Your life, what you did with it. وعن شبابه فيما أبلاه. And your youth, how you spent it. وعن ماله من أين اكتسبه وفيما أنفقه. And your money, how you earned it and how you spent it. Number 5, وماذا عمل فيما علم. And what you did with the knowledge that you acquired. No one can say they haven't been warned. Here are the questions. Open book exam. He said your life and what you did with it. Your 60, 70, 80 years, our lives, if we wanted to summarize them in one word, sentence or paragraph, what would it be? There will be a question about that on the Day of Judgment. Then there will be a question about the youth, as you just heard. When you felt that your desires peaked, when your impulse, your urge as a young man or woman rocketed through the roof, how did you behave? How did you manage that? When you compare yourself as a young man, a young woman with your peers and how they behave, are you the same? Are there parallels? Or are you distinct in your behavior as a practicing Muslim? That's question number 2. Then money, number 3. How you earned it. The opportunities of making cash today are so many. Are you one who subscribes to, by any means necessary, policy in life? How are you making your money? Does it even cross your mind to say, is this halal or haram before investing? And then how you spent that money. Where is it going? These are questions we are to expect in front of Allah. And then what you did with your knowledge. A basic khutbah like this afternoon. This is knowledge we are gaining. Will it be translated into application, or will it be another one added to the archives of our memory? This is a question. Question number 8. Allah has promised that there is going to be a question about the senses that we have been blessed with. Al-Hawas. Allah Jalla Jalaluhu said, وَلَا تَقْفُ مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٍ. Don't pursue that which you have no knowledge of. Why? إِنَّ السَّمْعَ وَالْبَصَرَ وَالْفُؤَادَ كُلُّ أُولَٰئِكَ كَانَ عَنْهُ مَسْئُولًا. Because indeed the hearing and the seeing and your heart, all of these matters shall be questioned, Allah Almighty said. So one who is afraid of the prospect of being asked of his limbs and senses will lower his gaze when haram presents itself in front of him, and will cover his or her ears when haram presents itself to him, and will protect their heart. When doubts about their religion come in, they will learn and ask the people of knowledge, and they will protect their hearts from the prohibited attachments. That is question number 8. As for question number 9, there is going to be a question about how you and I behaved when we saw evil unfold in front of us. La ilaha illallah, may Allah forgive us. And this is a frightening one indeed. When you saw something prohibited happening in front of you, what was your knee-jerk reaction? Was it live and let live? Was it each to their own? Was it don't go around judging people, to the rest of these meaningless statements? Or were you a person who was concerned about the welfare of your friends, your family, your colleagues, your society? You tried to give advice wherever appropriate and possible. And should you be unable to advise, did you stay there enjoying yourself with them, or did you vacate the scene as Allah Almighty wants from us when unable to speak or do something about it? And that is why in a terrifying hadith which Ahmad narrates in his Musnad on the authority of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, our beloved sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Inna Allah la yas'alu al-abda yawma al-qiyamati hatta yas'aluh ma mana'aka idh ra'ayta al-munkar an tunkirah. Allah will ask a person on the day of judgment with so much detail till Allah will ask man, why did you not prohibit the evil when you saw it happening in front of you? So when sat with friends, sat with colleagues, and when sat with families, we have an obligation, if haram is happening, to change it. If you are unable to speak out against it, minimally vacate the scene and ask Allah Almighty for tawfiq and help. That is question number 9. As for the final question that I wanted to share with you this afternoon, there is going to be a question about our actions at large. We are still in a deep state of akoma, and we are truly not appreciating the enormity of what is coming our way. Why? Because failing an exam today is to do a retake tomorrow. Failing the exam in front of Allah is to fail in our eternity.